Hello everyone, Thomas here, and forgive me for interrupting your day, but I have a quick word to share with you. One of the things I've learned in life, and this is a leadership principle I learned several years ago when I did a character study on Jesus, and I came out with a lot. Of course, Jesus can teach us and still teaches us a whole lot from his life and his teachings. One of the things I learned was to intentionally value feedback, especially when you're leading people, when you occupy a place of influence, right? So in Matthew 16, I believe from verse 13, Jesus sat with his disciples and he asked, what do people say the Son of Man is? And they came out with different observations that they had made. And then right after that, he hit the disciples with the same question. What do you think that I am? And, of course, Peter said, you're the Son of God. And you know that story. I think there's great value in intentionally going out to seek feedback, right? Not validation necessarily, feedback. In our world today, we are taught to don't care about what people say, ignore what people say, don't live your life based on what people say. And that's true, there's a little bit of wisdom in that. But I also see such great wisdom, particularly for people who are occupying a position of leadership, influence, whatever, to look back to the people who are following them and ask, hey, what do you think? And like candidly listen to them. Place so much value on the feedback that they have for them. And I practice this. So when I say leadership, I don't want you to think, like this lofty, like big person leading a huge, not like numbers of people in the company or whatever. No, in your home. Like I'm a husband, I'm a father. I want to be able to sit with my wife and ask, what do you think about the way I do things? I do this with Charlie, and it's shocking some of the things he tells me. I ask him, Charlie, what do you think fatherhood is about? What do you think about daddy? And he tells me all kinds of things. Daddy works hard. Daddy loves me. Daddy always cares about me. And he says so many things to point out from his perspective the value of the work I'm doing in our household and in his life. So I highly recommend that to you. There are so many benefits to it. It shows courage. It points out to the people you're leading that you are secure, you don't struggle with insecurity, and if you do, it will also show equally that you're making effort to combat that, right? So on several levels, there are so many benefits to what Jesus exemplified with the disciples. Sit with the people, look back, and ask them, what do you see? What do you think of the work I do? What do you think about me? And it has to be candid, right? It doesn't have to be this superficial, like, you just throw around and you don't really care about what they have to say. They'll always see through that. It has to be very genuine and candid. If you can do that, you will be a great leader. I guarantee you. I think it's a great thing Jesus exemplified for us. I do it. Sometimes when I even sense that people are kind of murmuring about something I'm doing, I just go right to them and I ask, hey, what do you guys think about this I'm doing? And sometimes they're honest and they confess, we were actually just talking about it and we don't think it's a great idea. And I ask them, I engage them, well, why don't you think so? And then from there, I establish something. I let them know, you know what? I want you to know that I care about what you have to say. So next time I do something like this and you have an opinion or feedback, please don't hesitate. And it changes the dynamic moving on. So I highly recommend that to you. Sit down with your family, ask your kids, your wife, whoever you're leading, right? And hear what they have to say. It places value on their worth. You don't have to tell them by word that you value what they have to say and what they think. And it also shows that you're a very secure leader and it breeds confidence in leadership. When a leader does that, you walk away thinking, oh, you feel important, right? And it helps with the relationship. So as you go around, as you interact with people, assume that they have something to say that will be of value to you. Don't write people off. Don't just say, "No, I don't live my life. I don't listen to anybody." I'm not saying to live your whole life on that, but when you are able to check in with people like that, it is like amassing a wealth of wisdom together, which you alone as an individual will never be able to produce. But if you can check in with this person, check in with that person, hear what they have to say, it's like you're connecting minds, and the wealth of wisdom and knowledge becomes deeper. So, highly recommend that to you. That's my word for you today. God be with you all. Shalom.